supposed to be just another night out. Nothing special. A bunch of us, me, Sarah, Jake, Emily, Chris, Tyler, and Lisa, decided to catch a movie after dinner. There's this older theater on the edge of town, not fancy, but cheap and quiet. It's kind of our go-to spot on weekends. We bought tickets for a late-night horror movie and headed into Theater 5. We grabbed popcorn, joked around like always, and picked the back row, our usual spot. Everything was normal until it wasn't. Right before the movie started, this guy walked in. He wore one of those theater vests, so I figured he worked there. Maybe usher or concessions. He looked to be in his mid-20s, scruffy beard, kind of tired eyes. He glanced around the room like he was looking for someone. Then his eyes locked onto Sarah, and he stared. Not a quick look. It was long, uncomfortable. I noticed Sarah shift in her seat. "Do you know him?" I whispered. She shook her head. Number never seen him before. Okay, maybe he was just doing a head count. Whatever. But something about his gaze, it felt off. Like he wasn't just looking at her, but studying her. The movie started, and we tried to forget it. But I kept noticing Sarah glancing toward the aisle. She looked uneasy, like she felt watched. At the end of the film, as we got up to leave, she pulled me aside and said quietly, "That guy never left. He stood in the back of the theater the entire time. He wasn't watching the movie, he was watching me." I turned to look, but he was gone. We thought that was it, just a weird guy. But 2 nights later, Sarah went back to the theater with Lisa to see a romantic comedy. Different theater, different time. But guess who was there? Same guy, sitting in the back, alone. Not eating, not watching, just staring. After that, it happened again and again. 3 more times. Same routine. He'd always sit in the back, never said a word, just watched Sarah. She stopped coming to the movies with us. And then the Instagram messages started showing up. No profile picture, no followers. "That blue dress looked nice on you. Try sitting a row closer next time." Creepy stuff. Stuff he couldn't have known unless he'd been there. But the worst part? One night, around 10 p.m., while I was working a shift at the coffee shop, she texted me, "He's here." I asked the girl at the box office if he still works here. She said he was fired 3 months ago. I told her to leave right away. Luckily, she had 2 friends with her that night. They stayed near a crowd until we came to pick her up. He was gone by the time we got there. The next day, she went to the police, filed a report. But they couldn't do much. The accounts were fake, and he never technically did anything illegal. Just showed up, stared. But that was enough to scare the hell out of her. Turns out his name was Daniel. He had worked at the theater's snack counter for a few months, but got fired after making another employee uncomfortable. They said it wasn't serious. No one followed up. Sarah never went back to that theater. Honestly, none of us did. Sometimes horror doesn't come with blood or screams. Sometimes it's just someone sitting too still, watching too long, knowing exactly where you'll be while you know nothing about them. Sometimes the scariest thing in the theater is sitting right behind you. Every Saturday night after dinner, we'd all meet up outside the mall. There's this usual multiplex, 6 screens, nothing too fancy but still good enough. And then there's us, me, Emily, Manny, Ricky, Laura, and Dave. We've been tight since middle school. That night, there was this thriller Emily had been dying to see for weeks. Honestly, I wouldn't have picked it. But when she asks with that tone, well, you go. We booked tickets for the 10:40 p.m. showing in Theater 3. It was late, so not many people showed up. Maybe 10 or 15. During the trailers, Emily got up to use the restroom. Nothing unusual. She left her stuff on the seat. When she came back 5 minutes later, she seemed off, like something had unsettled her. She sat down quietly. I asked if she was okay. She said yes, but she wasn't watching the screen anymore. She kept looking behind us. I turned around, but didn't see anyone. Just 3 or 4 scattered people. Then she whispered, "There was this guy outside the bathroom. He said, 'You're really beautiful when you think no one's watching.' At a movie theater, at night." That sentence gave me chills. "Who was he?" I asked. She shook her head. "I don't know. Skinny, dark jacket, long hair in the back, kind of 90s style. After the movie ended and we left, he was gone." We tried to joke it off, but Emily stayed quiet. The next day, she texted me at 11:17 p.m. "He followed me to the parking lot." She recognized the same guy. She saw him standing against the wall at the back of the theater before the movie ended. Not a customer, not an employee, just standing there. Then when she left, he was about 30 feet away in the mostly empty lot. He didn't say anything, didn't move, but she knew he was there for her. She got in her car quickly and took off without looking back. The following Monday, I went with her to talk to theater security. We told them everything. The manager said they'd check the security cameras. But a few days later, they called back and said there was no sign of that guy anywhere. Not in the hallways, not in the parking lot. Only Emily and other customers showed up on tape. We started to think maybe she was mistaken, just nerves, anxiety. But the next Saturday, things got worse. We were back at the mall, not for a movie, but to help Laura pick out a gift at a nearby store. Emily stayed in the car. When we came back, she was gone. The car was still there, but no sign of her. Phone off, no texts or calls. We found her about an hour later, locked inside one of the bathroom stalls at the theater. She was shaking. Said someone had called her name. A man's voice had followed her to the bathroom. But when she went in, no one came after her. Just that cold voice whispering, "I found you again." Since then, she hasn't gone out alone. We switched theaters, changed our habits, but she's not the same. She started seeing a therapist, sleeps with the lights on, and sometimes still gets texts from unknown numbers. Just short messages. "Do you miss my stare? You're with others now, but I only see you." We've tried everything. Reports, blocking numbers, calling the cops. But he never leaves any proof. No one's ever clearly seen him except her. The scariest part? We don't know if he's real or if her mind turned something small into a nightmare. But I believe her, because I've known Emily my whole life, and the girl I see now, she's not the same. And every time I walk into a dark theater, I can't help but look back. Because in those rows, in the shadows, there might be someone who's not there for the movie. It was just another typical Friday night when my cousin Julia and I decided to catch a movie. The theater was the one near the mall. Pretty modern, with 6 screening rooms, and it was fairly busy for a Friday night. There were about 30 people scattered around the room, all waiting for this horror film we'd been looking forward to for weeks. About an hour into the movie, suddenly, the screen went completely dark. It wasn't just a technical glitch. Total blackout. Then, out of nowhere, red flashing letters appeared on the screen spelling, "We're going to kill you all." A cold shiver ran down my spine. Some people immediately got up and left, clearly freaked out. Others stayed frozen in their seats, confused and scared, while a few tried to call for theater staff. I held Julia's hand tight. I could feel how tense she was. After a few minutes of chaos, the screen went completely black. A heavy silence fell over the theater. Most people started to leave, but some stayed seated, either out of curiosity or shock. Then, the emergency exit burst open. A man walked in, wearing a black ski mask covering his entire face and holding a large kitchen knife in his right hand. He was shouting something I couldn't quite understand, but his voice was full of rage and menace. People panicked, running for every exit they could find, including the emergency doors. I grabbed Julia and tried to push her toward the main exit, but in the chaos, something happened that I didn't expect. The masked guy shoved us into a side hallway, cutting us off from the rest of the crowd. Julia struggled to break free, but he grabbed her hand tightly. She fought, but he yanked her down hard, making her drop her phone. I tried to step in, but he elbowed me back before I could react. Before I knew it, he dragged Julia toward the women's restroom, a busy area, but with a door leading to a rarely used back hallway. Once inside, Julia slammed the door shut and locked herself in a stall. The man pounded on the door and yelled, "Come out, Julia, there's no point hiding." I wanted to help, to get her to hang on, but fear froze me in place. I shouted through the door, trying to keep her calm, but her voice trembled when she answered, "Jake, I don't know how much longer I can stay here. He won't leave." I heard heavy footsteps coming closer when suddenly the bathroom door burst open. A security guard had arrived just in time, called by other staff. They wrestled the masked man to the ground and disarmed him, while Julia finally stepped out, shaking but safe. That night, no one left the theater without fear. Many stayed hours in shock, and the theater was shut down for investigation. In the days that followed, Julia refused to go out alone, and I never left her side. We'll never forget that night, and I'll never watch a movie without thinking about how fragile our safety really is.